Hello. Another from the Women's Prize for Fiction long list, and this is Cursed Bread by Sophie Mackintosh. It's not a very long read, 180 pages, something like that. This one, it almost feels like a fever dream. But there are very erotic undertones with this as well. You've got one narrator, Elodie, but at one point she says that in another life she could have been a pathological liar, so you're not quite sure whether what she's telling you is reliable. You can't. Do you actually believe anything she's saying? The time period is fluid. At some point, sometimes you think you are reading a story that is set centuries ago, and then there'll be a word or phrase that brings it almost up to date. When you go right to the back, it looks as though in the summer of 1951 there was an event, and it looks as though this is what this is based on, so it gives you an idea of time period. But when you're reading it, the time period seems fluid. You're not quite sure sometimes whereabouts you are. Well, I didn't think this is what I felt anyway. Elodie is a baker's wife. They live in a small village, and she's unhappy with her life. Her husband no longer desires her. She always wants something more from life than what she feels she's got. And then into the village, the ambassador and his glamorous wife, Violet, arrive. The ambassador, we never know his name. He is always referred to as the ambassador. And Violet is this glamorous person. And they almost enchant the village. Everybody wants to know about them, what they're doing. The women, it looks as though this is a sort of communal washing area, and whoever's washing Violet's clothes, all the women pour over them. They are desperate to know what she's wearing and comment on it. But Elodie it goes deeper. She becomes obsessed with them, and she wants to be noticed. She wants to share in Violet's life, in every aspect of her life, even the sexual relationship that she's got with between Violet and the ambassador, because Elodie has spied on them having sex at some point. She wants to be her. She manipulates being close to her. She takes things so that she can dress like her. She wants to almost breathe her life. And this makes her vulnerable to the games that are being played by the ambassador and Violet that Elodie doesn't realise are being played. It's a novel about the relationship between Elodie and Violet. And you almost sort of think, well, who is controlling this? Who is the control in this relationship? Who has the power? There are also touches of horror thrown into this, because you've got dying horses, you've got a teenager throwing himself into a bonfire, and then there's cursed bread. There's a sort of there's an erotic element to this. There's a horror element. It's to do with obsession. Elodie's obsession with Violet. Desire, pleasure, and beauty, as it says here. Intoxicating, sumptuous, savage. It's told by Elodie, and we are in present day. Elodie is recounting what happens. And then you've got she's writing letters to Violet, where she is telling her what she is doing now, who she's seeing, what she's doing, who she meets. So you've got sort of like Elodie telling past and present. It's a mysterious little novel. The descriptions of the bread make you want to rush out to a baker's and buy a croissant. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what I make of it. It's left an impression, but I'm not sure whether it's an impression that... I don't know. I've finished it and I'm not quite sure what I make of it, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't, but, you know, this is why I love the Women's Prize for Fiction. It always throws up books that leave me pondering sometimes. So, that is Cursed Bread by Sophie Mackintosh. The next one I've got to read is is it called Homesick? Something like that. I've got that. I picked that up from the library, so that's the next one I'm reading. So, happy reading. Take care.